Chicago Blackhawks would first like to recognize the incredible career of David Boyle and congratulate him on his retirement. We'd also like to congratulate the Vegas Golden Knights on their Stanley Cup championship. We'd like to say hi to all of the Blackhawks fans back in Chicago at the Salt Shed, the Blackhawks fans here tonight, and all the Blackhawks fans watching around the world. And with the first overall selection in the 2023 NHL Draft, the Chicago Blackhawks are very proud to select from the Regina Pats, the Western Hockey League, Connor Bedard.
Connor Bedard. I knew Connor Bedard was going to be first. And now the Ducks fans are crying insults. The Anaheim Ducks are crying insults. Because before the draft lottery, the Ducks were the worst team. They were the favorites to win the draft lottery. Like Chicago was third, and then Chicago skipped both Columbus and Anaheim. So now the Ducks are angry, saying we should have had him. Why is the NHL so cruel to us?
They do that so that people won't throw games.
I know, but still.
He's a guy you build a franchise around. He is. This guy is. Look, he's had all eyes on him forever.
I mean, on the bright side for the Ducks, at least they could likely have the next best thing, Adam Fantilli.
Oh, they have the number 2 pick?
The Ducks have the number 2 pick, which is why they're salty. They wanted the first overall pick, not the second.
He's got vision, he's got the elusiveness, and he's got the shot. To me, the shot is what stands out. He can beat you in a lot of different ways. He's going to give a lot of nightmares to a lot of goals in the NHL for years to come.
He doesn't skate like Connor McDavid, Megan Chaika. He's 5'9" and 3/4. That can sometimes scare some. He's not a big early center ice. Will he be a center? Will he be a winger? But what tells you about his greatness?
I mean, he's not Zuccarello or St. Louis short or Caulfield.
St. Louis is 5'8", and this guy is 5'9".
No, this is he's 5'10".
They just said he was 5'9", 10 something.
Oh, well, they got it wrong.
Connor Bedard had more assists than goals.
71 goals, 72 assists in 57 games.
Wow.
This guy is a beast. And Chicago is definitely happy to have him at their team. And more importantly, we, the fans, are excited to see what he's going to do in the NHL.
The Anaheim Ducks with the number 2 overall pick of this year's draft.
We would like to welcome all our fans watching at our draft party at Brewery X. With our first selection, we are proud to select from Orebro, SHL, Leo Carlson.
Oh! Leo Carlson!
What number was he?
I think 3 or 4, but definitely not the projected number 2 pick.
Well, he's a center, so
So is Fantilli.
I think that's
Wow.
the thing that stands out to me. I think this kid has so much growth.
I am very surprised there.
he looks very tall. Maybe they like his height.
I mean, I don't know how tall Adam Fantilli is, but size doesn't always matter in the
No, but it matters
NHL.
to some people.
This guy reminds me of Andre.
Yeah.
If everything else is equal, they might think that height is better.
Yeah, but those people don't know that Matt Zuccarello, Maurice St. Louis, and Cole Caulfield exist.
But those are exceptions.
But those are the guys that prove that hockey is for everybody, not just for the big guys, but the little guys too.
Yeah, and you could be a heavyweight wrestler. And he's short also, but it's not very common.
Yeah, or have the former champion lose to a toddler.
Pierre-Luc Dubois comes up as an NHL comparable, which we saw how
Oh, they're comparing to Pierre-Luc Dubois.
See, he's taller than every single person up there.
Or around their size.
Taller, though.
Yeah. And speaking of Pierre-Luc Dubois, Dubois has been traded to the Los Angeles Canes in exchange for Alex Iafallo, Gabriel Filardi. I think they had a first-round pick and some other futures to Winnipeg. Man, the Canes centers are all stacked.
That's what we need, another Carlson in the NHL.
And another Carlson of a C.
6'3".
Yeah, man, I can tell. I can feel like San Jose is getting a heart attack right now,
Why?
and they'll be like, "Oh my God, our rivals did not choose Adam Fantilli. Please, Columbus, please let us get Adam Fantilli." Yep.
We love you. Come back to New
Thank you,
York.
Nashville. We appreciate the great time you've shown us all. Congratulations, Vegas. To a hockey lifer and a good friend, David Poyle, again, congratulations. Good man. Our fans back in Columbus, they're called the Fifth Line. They are at Pins at Easton. Have a party, gang. We appreciate y'all. To make our pick, I'd like to invite our general manager, Jarmo Kekalainen.
Columbus Blue Jackets are proud to select from University of Michigan, Adam Fantilli.
Yep. And now the Sharks cry. The Sharks were like, we were so close. Why didn't you choose anybody else? We wanted Fantilli.
He shoots it. He can fly. He can power a line. More of a shooter than Eichel. This guy's going to fill up the nets as well as play a 200-foot game along the wall.
But now the Blue Jackets centermen just got deadly. Like they have Boone Jenner, Kent Johnson, Cole Sillinger, and now they have Adam Fantilli.
I like Fantilli, and you know what I like about him is he's a little bit quicker than Carlson right now. He may already be developed. What you see is what you get right there. He's a young man already. But he can play on the walls, he can get inside, he's got a powerful stride. I just personally like bigger centermen. I think that's how you win. Guys that can skate. You talked about the Vegas Golden Knights. You got to have size, but you got to be able to skate as well. I think you can do it. He's just going right down the road from Michigan down to Columbus. This is a great pick for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And you know what? Playing in the World Championship pick for him in the spring, that was a very good
the pick that no one in Columbus expected to get. They were probably expecting Leo Carlson.
That goal in the World Championships, to piggyback on that, was incredible. I think it kind of dispelled that he couldn't play at the NHL level already. And I talked to Brandon Dorado, his coach at the University of Michigan. He said earlier in the year he was trying to beat people with his hands and really learned to use his body to shield on the wall. That translates very well into the NHL.
Who's the short guy next to JD?
I don't know. Oh, Fantilli's 6'2".
This guy to me.
Oh, there's Rick Nash.
Where?
They just passed him. It's right next to that old guy. There he is, right.
Oh, yeah. What is he?
Some staff or something for Columbus.
That guy that must be his dad. It looks like he's crying.
Of course, Fantilli is going to be in the NHL. And he just recently won the Hobie Baker Award.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
That tells you a lot right there. Joins Owen Power and Mountaineers as the only top three from Michigan. I got a feeling he's going to be in Columbus this season and play right away. His dad
I mean, of course. Why would he not play this season?
You're not going to be dangled here. Learn to play the right way, and he's rewarded tonight as his son is taken by the Columbus Blue Jackets. There's a Canadian kid, but again, played college hockey last year, took his team to the Frozen Four. He won the Hobie as the best college player in America. And so Columbus gets that franchise center we talked about. They spent 8 first-round picks.
Well, I'm happy for JD. Because remember when they had that draft lottery, and you know, he was hoping to be 1 and he got 3 instead. I remember that.
You know, sometimes you get a center and
when was that?
This year when they had the draft lottery.
No, the Ducks were expected to win first. Columbus was expected to get second, and Chicago was expected to get third.
They got a lower position than they thought they would.
Yeah, they definitely. Not only Columbus got lower than expected, but the Ducks as well. That's why I said the Ducks were super salty that their lottery picks was robbed by the NHL.
Well, I think that was a good thing, because they used to go strictly by how bad you were, and that's not fair, because that incentivizes people at the end of the season to lose games on purpose, which is not fair.
But still, after that they realize all of that for nothing. What is our point in our existence?
Thank you, Nashville. You guys have been a great host. We've really enjoyed our time here. Congratulations to David Boyle. Great career managing. You know, someone who's been great to me and helped mentor me and do along my first year. Also like to congratulate.
So this guy who's talking
is Mike Greer.
Was a hockey player?
Yeah.
Kelly McCrimmon. And I'd like to say hello and thank you to our fans watching around the world and at the SAP Center tonight. To make our pick is Sharks legend, NHL all-time, games played leader, Patrick Marleau.
Patrick Marleau.
Oh.
With the first selection overall, the San Jose Sharks are proud to select Will Smith from the USA Development Program.
Not surprised, this is a high-octane center iceman, so the
Wait, are they playing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air song in the background?
To play this fall. Only Jack Hughes scored more points.
I think they are!
This guy's really electric, Ryan Boucher. They got a good one here.
He is, and Mike Greer, you know, being in the Boston area before he went to San Jose, was very much around the youth hockey circles, and he knows Will Smith very, very well. He's seen him play a lot, so there has to be...
Yeah, they are! They are playing the Fresh Prince of the Bel-Air in the background.
Makes sense.
I'm about to say, I'm certain they already planned this ahead of time. There's no way that a player named Will Smith got selected and is celebrated by playing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in the background.
It makes sense.
I know. Seriously, whoever thought of this idea needs to get a massive raise.
And plus he's going to California where Bel-Air is.
Oh yeah!
Talented player in Will Smith with the Sharks did.
And we'll hear his wingers and
hopefully he doesn't slap anybody.
And then Perot will go soon after. Again, those 3 players.
I mean, he's a hockey player. He's gonna do more than just slap.
I mean, here on the stage.
I mean, nobody said jokes or something that made him upset.
And you're rebuilding when you're looking at centers, right? You're stocking the cupboards, and Will Smith brings a lot of vision. The ability to see the ice and passing lanes that others don't, and he actually has the skill to complete those passes. Moves the puck into dangerous areas. He's a
The
lot
hat was
like
too
an
small, he's got to fix it. The back thing.
Excellent player, elite level, offensively creative, playmaking vision. That's Will Smith's calling card.
I spoke to his agent the last couple of days, and I was literally on the phone with his agent. One of them, both of them actually today. They couldn't get off the phone when I said, tell me more about it.
Well, we're all talking about it. You get the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song when you walk up there. What was going through your mind when you put on that jersey?
I mean, I feel like it kind of adds to it. I mean, the name. I mean, I'm trying to own it, and I mean, I love the song too.
Can you sing it?
Right now on camera?
Oh, he's gonna sing it?
In West Philadelphia, born and raised, where the playgrounds where I spent most of my days, chilling out, relaxing, all cool. shooting some b-ball outside of school.
That's incredible.
Oh, I wanted him to keep going.
Hard to press the players.
I'd like to start by congratulating the Vegas Golden Knights. Also like to wish David Poile all the best in retirement. J'aimerais saluer nos partisans à Montréal et autour du monde. On apprécie votre passion. To make our selection, I will invite up our former 5th overall in 2005, Carey Price.
Carey Price.
Bonsoir. The Canadiens de Montreal are proud to select David.
What? Oh, does he not know how to say the last name?
We planned it that way. David Reinbacher.
Reinbacher.
So David Reinbacher, that was the player many people thought they would take. He's a big right-handed shooting defenseman, Megachuk, a 6'2", 225.
I'm guessing Carey Price didn't know how to pronounce his last name.
When you're looking at picking that defenseman, you're thinking
Wow.
that you're going to pick him shortly after.
Maybe he didn't know if it was Greenbatcher or something. He didn't want to say it wrong.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure however pronounced it, it's definitely more closer than Jonas Donskoe.
Jonas who?
Jonas Donskoe. Like that guy in that Seattle expansion draft. Like he said Jonas Donskoe's name wrong.
His coach said he actually thinks David has a higher threshold to get to. So solid defenseman, a little higher than I would expect, but he would be the first one on my list.
Second Austrian taken in the top 5, Thomas Vakuum, that former Predator.
Yeah, and definitely another off the board draft.
Another what?
Off the board pick.
You mean
Like he was lower.
Certainly in the last 30 years, they've had a lot of European-born players.
Another really tall guy.
Montreal has kind of that
Although Bettman is very short. He's like, I think, the shortest guy up there.
Or maybe both. Oh yes, speaking of Carey Price has officially retired.
But
Oh, yeah?
I think there's a smarts to his game, playing a pro game in the Swiss League. The Swiss League is
Oh,
a good league.
defenseman.
It's a good league.
Oh, Marty St. Louis.
Oh yeah, St. Louis and Vinny LeCavier.
Oh, I didn't see him.
He was right next to St. Louis. But two Tampa Bay legends, and they're working together once again. This time in Montreal.
Oh, LeCavier is the tall guy next to St. Louis?
Yep.
A lot of mocks had the top 5 that were taken. Now the mystery really begins. The Arizona
Wow, the Riley Smith trade was definitely new. And I think they got a draft pick.
I was just going to say, were all those trades they traded for draft picks?
But not all of them.
On behalf of the Arizona Coyotes, we'd like to congratulate the Vegas Knights on winning the Stanley Cup.
You forgot
We'd
Golden.
also like to thank the Nashville Predators and their amazing fans for hosting us this week. And to all of our fans in Arizona at Wasted Grain in Scottsdale, go Yotes. And to make our selection, I'd like to invite Ryan Janikowski.
Go Yotes?
Yep.
They call them the Yotes?
Yeah, short.
The Arizona Coyotes are proud to select from Lokomotiv Yaroslavo Dmitry Simashev. Weeksy, that's your boy, Simashev.
It looks like a surprise.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a man. So many unexpected draft picks.
Yeah. Well, that guy Monty, whatever his name is.
Mitchkov or something like that.
What number was he projected to be?
4.
And what number is this guy now?
6.
Okay. And what position is he?
Mitchkov is a right wing.
Okay.
And not going
Maybe
defense
they
to
needed a
defense, maybe
defenseman.
there's ideas that he was going to go earlier than they expected, but still a bit of a surprise.
Oh, speaking of the Coyotes have Patrick Nemeth has been bought out.
What team?
The Coyotes.
Oh, Nemeth?
Yeah. So it's a lot like they bought out his final year.
So what does that mean? He's
Uh,
a free agent?
Yeah. He's no longer with the Coyotes.
Now, good hands right there. Looks like he's got some skill.
He does, yeah, got some offense.
I think the one thing that you hear is people wonder if there's offense to his game. But one thing that is apparent to me is his size and the fact that he competes, he finishes. And to me, I like
Batman makes everybody look tall because he's so short.
He also only has a 2-year
Oh, Shimashev is from Russia.
Yeah.
Sources, not a 3-year deal. That's a big swing because in the event that's a 3-year deal, what happens if they want to retain you? I think that's part of the challenge right now with Michkov.
Yeah.
That's part of the challenge. So Simashev is a rangy defenseman, closes well, gaps up, very aggressive, tough to play against. I think this is a really good value pick for that right
A goal and 11 assists in 33 games. 12 points. Yeah, but still, 12 points in 33 games. Oof.
Going to the Arizona Coyotes, who again picked 12. They're going to get a real good player at 12 as well. Again, but his franchise in flux. They don't have an arena deal. And so their future in Arizona.
Oh, but he got 6 points in 10 playoff games. First among D-men on his team.
We'll see if that announcement comes this summer.
The Philadelphia Flyers would like to thank the city of Nashville for their outstanding hospitality.
Yay, Keith Jones.
We've had a very good time. It's going to get more fun. I would like to thank David Poyle. He was my general manager with the Washington Capitals. Drafted me in 1988 in the 7th round. He got a lot better after that pick. Danny?
With the seventh selection of the draft, the Flyers are proud to select from St. Petersburg in the KHL, Matvei Michkov.
There you go. There's Michkov.
Russian, there he is.
Matvei
Michkov, some say the second best player in this draft, but because of his 3-year contract in the KHL, certainly the geopolitical situation with the
I thought they usually said the second best player is Adam Fantilli.
There's no mystery on his talent, though. Kevin Weeks.
No mystery on his talent. This guy is an absolute baller. He's a gamer of a player. He is so skilled. Some people kind of gave me 2 calls from people in the KHL in Russia. Said he reminds me a little bit of Kaprizov, a hybrid of Kaprizov and of Evgeny Malkin. He just doesn't have Malkin size.
Right.
All of that to say, you're getting an absolute stud of a player that can play the game any way you want it. He's so electrifying, so uniquely gifted and talented. And now the question becomes for the people in the city of brotherly love, where I was a couple days ago, Bruce, your home of Philly. How can we get this guy here? What can we do to get him here? That's why I say it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Kaprizov situation, but great pick.
About getting him here, though, you're in a rebuild. You traded Kevin Hayes. You have time. This 3-year is fine. Developing in the KHL. Come back, be a 30-40 goal scorer. Be like Kaprizov. Our stat league data actually has him as Kucherov when you map out his style of play. An elite shooter, a goal scorer, 20 points in 27 games, higher clip than Ovechkin in his draft year. Huge ceiling for the 7th pick. I think this is incredible for Philadelphia. It's exactly the type of player they need to rebuild.
The Flyer fans, the one argument they would probably say throughout the years, they lack a game breaker. Correct. Right? It's true. No, very true. This is a game breaker. Yeah, this is a game breaker. This is a guy that is going to be electrifying. He doesn't need much time or space to put the puck in the back of the net. Look, you're right, Megan. 3 years from now, it's going to go fast. I mean, because the Flyers are in a rebuild, there's going to be more pain to be felt for this organization in the next little while. But after that, if you do it right, you can see that the optimism comes because you see the Chicago Blackhawks, they stripped it down, a little bit of pain. Now they got a lot of picks. start to get a game breaker in Bedard. The Flyers, in their own right, get a game breaker in Mitchkov. This is a real exciting pick for the Philadelphia Flyers. You just wish you could fast forward those 3 years real quick.
Yeah, exactly. And now you have to start building some bridges with some of his folks from his club over the KHL. Complicated. It's very complicated, but you're going to have to build bridges there. You're going to have to establish relationships. Some of the club representatives from Cheska are here with them, I'm told, as well, which was a little bit of a concern for some of the teams in the interview process.
Next is the Washington Capitals.
Is how good of a prospect this is, and how electrifying of a
Where
player
does
he
it
is.
say who's next?
They've needed
The
a game
bottom
breaker for a
left.
long time in Philly. We're going to Russian towards Matvei Michkov is with Emily Kaplan.
Matvei, what do you want fans in the NHL to know about you?
Я очень счастлив, что оказался в Филадельфии. У меня просто нет слов, это невероятная эмоция.
I'm glad to be in Flyers. I have no words. Such emotional moment.
When do you expect to come to the NHL?
Я думаю, что скоро. Это моя мечта.
Things quite soon. It's his dream to be there.
And what does it mean
Quite
to you
soon
to get
of
drafted
what?
to the NHL?
Something.
Это много значит для меня, это моя мечта и моя мечта Кубок Стэнли.
He says it means a lot for him. It's his dream, and his dream is also to win the Stanley Cup.
Спасибо.
Washington Capitals would like to acknowledge David Poyle's longtime contribution to our organization and congratulate him on an outstanding career. With the 8th pick, Washington selects Ryan Leonard from the U.S. Development
Ryan
Program.
Leonard.
Well, there he is. We
He
mentioned
didn't
this is a man.
just say
Muscles in his face. He played
congratulations
Pete.
to
He played on that
Vegas.
U.S. line with Will Smith, Guy Perreault. And they already got Tom Wilson.
Ryan
They're bringing
Leonard,
another B
USA.
player to the team.
Not quite the size of
USA,
Tom Wilson, but
USA,
he certainly
USA.
has some bite and some jam to his game. And maybe Washington saying, okay, you want to take our guy? Yeah, we'll take your guy. I thought this kid would have made a great Philadelphia Flyer just because of the way that he plays. But this is a good pick for Washington. You can't go wrong. You know, we talk about certain types of players that help you win in the regular season, and then you find out about players that you need to win in the playoffs. This guy falls in the category of guy that will help you win in the playoffs. His game translates to springtime hockey. He's a sturdy guy. He hits. He gets in there, yet he has skill and he can finish. He really made significant strides at the national program and a good pick here for the Washington Capitals.
They'll head to Boston College again to play at least 1 year of college hockey this fall. Look, when you look at Tom Wilson, what Mr. Wilson, as I call him, has done to impact the game for the Washington Capitals, perhaps this is a diet Tom Wilson. Somebody they're looking at, just saying, hey, a little low calorie, but a lot of the same taste, the same flavor. Scouts are calling the world for another Tom Wilson, Davey Ben type player. So the fact that he has many of those attributes, Meg, I think bodes well rather for exactly what they're looking for in the nation's capital.
Oh, he's got attributes like Tom Wilson.
Yeah.
Right? He had that OT goal. He also had the most scoring chances per game in that U18 World Championship, so he's getting high quality shots. He does. Leonard has that shoot first tendency, always looking to shoot in the offensive zone, and volume plus quality makes scoring. Leonard has that in spades, so big body, scoring will be good for Washington, but certainly look like a Philadelphia Flyer type player.
He is.
Yep.
David Poyle, fantastic general manager, fantastic person, and a great friend on a tremendous career. Also, I'd like to congratulate the Vegas Golden Knights on a Stanley Cup championship. With the 9th pick in the draft, the Red Wings select from the Brandon Wheat Kings center Nate Danielson.
True center, Bush, 6 feet, 186. Led the Brandon Wheat Kings in goals, assists, and points. 33 goals in 68 games. What do you like about Nate Danielson's game?
Well, he's a well-rounded player from what I see. Brandon's team wasn't all that strong that he played on, so that could have hurt his point production. He had, 78 points, and maybe that doesn't jump off the page, but it wasn't
WHL,
like
but it doesn't say where he's from.
The Brandon Wheat Canes.
Some concerns about his skating.
What?
He played for the Brandon Wheat Canes.
Those players truthfully, they're valuable players.
Which is where Braden Schneider played.
Brandon Wheatkin?
Yeah.
Which is where?
Somewhere.
In Canada?
Maybe, I don't know.
I thought he stayed to the outside a little bit too much for my liking, but
So there's some improvement there, right? There's something he can work on coming into this.
But maybe that speaks to maybe not
Who
playing
else
with
did you say
players that, you know,
was from
that
there?
were able to
Braden
finish. So
Schneider.
it's just kinda, you know, if it's a little bit difficult, you don't have the guys, the horses to play with, maybe that's why you shoot from the outside, but all accounts, it sounds like this guy's a very good prospect.
Versatility comes to mind for me with him. He's a guy that can do
Edmonton, Alberta.
And by the way, the one good thing about Brandon, they've got a really good program in the.
Wow, and he's a big fan of Pavel Datsyuk, and he's playing with the Red Wings.
Kelly McCrimmon, Vegas' GM.
What did they say? He's a big fan of who?
Pavel Datsyuk.
I didn't even know him.
He seems extremely.
He's a Red Wings legend.
Pavel who?
Datsyuk.
You're kind of a big deal right now. And by the way, you're drafted by the Detroit Red Wings, but I like the fact that there's versatility is the biggest thing that comes to mind in terms of his calling card as a player.
Yeah, and that two-way sort of heart and soul type guy will do well in Detroit. At the WHL said he kind of reminds them of Nugent Hopkins in the early days, maybe with the grit and penalty kill, not quite on the offensive side, but he has that fight to his game that a lot of people really like.
You usually have 3 picks like they have. There's Doug Armstrong, the GM, Craig Berube, the head coach, Chiefs. See what the Blues do, and if they do indeed take that young defenseman.
Look how short Bettman is compared to everybody else.
St. Louis Blues are pleased to select Dalibor Dvorsky, AIK, Sweden.
Maybe they were a bit surprised he was there at this 10th selection, and they probably view him, Megan, as the best player available, perhaps.
Dvorsky's like Bo Horvat too, so an incredible player, puck possession, play driver with high stick on puck possession time. He can transport the puck out of the D zone and into the offensive zone, creating offense, and can create on his own shot by carrying the puck and creating space for himself. Was Team Slovakia leading scorer in the 2023 Under-18 World Championships, and he led all forwards in possession time per game, so he likes the puck on his stick at just over 2 minutes.
Well, a lot of Blues like the puck on their stick. Robert Thomas, Jordan Kyrou. At some point, we got to dish it and shoot it, boys. But this is a good guy to get. Again, a strong draft for centers. We mentioned that. Yes. And another one goes here. The 4th time 6 centers went in the top 10. Happened in 2006, 2011, and 2017.
Well, I can tell you that Craig Berube wants guys that compete. And the calling card of this guy is that he competes. He plays a 200-foot game. And if you don't do that in Craig Berube's system, you're going to have a problem. And I think this is a guy that perhaps, I don't know if a lot of prognosticators had him sliding to 10, but the fact that he was available, again, center ice, when we talk about what's the most important positions on your team. I mean, yeah, goaltenders are probably the most important. We would say that, you and I, but centers.
Yeah, no goalies have been picked yet, right?
Not yet.
He competes. You know, maybe skating is a concern, but I always think you can. That's something that you can work on. The guy that wants to compete, has skill, has vision, has hands. That's a little bit more difficult, and he's got that.
Yeah, and I think of the St. Louis Blues team that won the Stanley Cup. And you think of what the factor Ryan O'Reilly meant down the middle, right? You start going down the middle of the players that they had in that lineup, how those players were able to affect it from the center ice position. And yes, Craig Berube, Chief, there he is there. Outstanding coach. Has intensity. He's old school, but new school. Yeah. And he wants guys that all he has to do is look at them to go over the boards. Dalibor Dvorsky is one of those players. Watching him at the UA team, I was very impressed by him every time he got up there.
And he's also used in all situations.
Slovakian.
So he can tackle him over the boards at any time, and he's at 200 high number of defensive zone puck touches, shot recoveries, and shot blocks. So a great, well-rounded player.
And another high pick for Slovakia.
Yeah.
A big year for them last year with Yuri Slafkovsky going at 1 to Montreal. This is a really good sign for their program because it's an outstanding hockey country. that oftentimes is overshadowed just based on its size.
Next is the Vancouver Canucks.
They have.
What?
You mentioned
Next
it,
is the
right?
Vancouver
22
Canucks.
22 U18s, 5 games, he had 12 points, led the team. That had Slavkovsky, that had Major, and it had Nemeth. And he was the guy that led the team.
Arian Gaborik.
Another in the list of players that are coming out of Slovakia. They're doing a great job. They gave Canada a scare.
Oh, I thought Gaborik was
They were almost there, and they almost did it. Probably would have been good
I'm
for the
thinking
United
of.
States. Slovakia would have been good.
Vancouver Canucks proud to select from Rögle, Swedish Junior League, Tom Willander.
Okay. They do take the defense. They take a D-man, though. Good for them. Good for them. I echo your point, Bush, and the fact that they need to really rebuild that stable on the back. They have the stud in Quinn Hughes right now, but he needs help. They need help on the back end there, Meg. They need that.
And the NHL comparable for him is Seth Jones, poised with a puck, high success rate when under pressure and in traffic, which translates well in the NHL. Puck distribution by Willander, quick decisions, and puts teammates in position to make the next play. I think this is a solid pick for Vancouver if they're looking for a defenseman. And these are hard to find. You usually build to the draft. You know how expensive they are in the trade market, or impossible to get.
Right stride D-man, he's got good size. I mean, the one thing about Axel Sandin Palika, he's a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
I think Willander is a guy that can run a power play. He's a good skater. He moves the puck. He plays hard. He's solid all around. He's going to Boston University in the fall.
That's why Jay Pandolfo, my man, was right there in the shot.
And I think that this will give them a little bit more time to get a little bit stronger. But they needed deep prospects. Like I was saying before, they made the pick. Out of their top 9 prospects that they have, only one is a D-man, and that's Jack Rathbone. So they needed to get a D-man, and I think this is a good one.
Yeah, if you're a college hockey fan, you're excited. All this high-end, high first-round talent going to play college hockey. This fall, another one coming in. Tom Willander playing for Jay Pandolfo. Both BU and BC will be loaded this year. They'll be top 10 preseason teams. The big pot will be fired.
I was going to say.
Frozen Fours in St. Paul this year. We'll see the fine folks of Minnesota up there in St. Paul next April for the Frozen Four. And Vancouver gets their Swedish defenseman. They've done pretty well with Swedes over the years. My boy Ryan Johnson, RJ, with a little stubblement. Up next, the Arizona Coyotes will pick again. Remember, they picked 6th. Now they'll pick again 12th for their second of 2.
The Arizona Coyotes are proud to select from Yaroslavl, Daniel Boot.
All right, so it's...
Oh, boots. I thought it was butt.
No ifs or boots about it, Weezy. No ifs or boots about it.
No ifs, ands, or boots about it.
Yeah, or boots and butts.
Arizona Coyotes at this point, in going for somebody like...
Man, we need Maxwell the Pig to remix that.
We need what?
We need Maxwell the Pig to remix that. Boots and butts.
And they have the benefit, as Boucher touched upon earlier,
Maxwell the
of
Pig
not
to
having that
remix
urgency in their window to be
Yeah. Pretty much the Boots and Pants sequel.
Comparable is an Alex Tuck.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Geico.
The offensive zone. Elite production in that sense is in and around the puck in the O-zone and gets to the net. As a passer, has a high completion rate.
D-A-N-I-I-L.
Might not translate as much in the NHL.
Arizona takes 2 Russians. Yeah, first 2 picks in 6 and 12.
Yeah. High level skill is
in a long time.
Yeah, in a long time. Well, you know,
better than short, like mine.
Yeah, I agree. I think a long time is better than a short guy. But you know, high level skill for a big guy.
Yes.
Right.
And this guy looks very tall.
He's not the most physical guy, but clearly there's room to grow inside that frame. If you got a guy that's big like that, that can dangle guys. To me, those guys are hard to find. And the comparable is Alex Tuck. You know, he's a guy that when he's on, he's on. And look at the hands right there, being able to get around that defender. Get a guy like that in a dangerous area, they're gonna do some damage.
Yeah, 6'5". And I think when you look at the progression of somebody like Alex Tuck in Buffalo and also Tage Thompson.
Another Russian.
Maybe that kind of enticed the Arizona Coyotes, right?
Long development line, right?
But it's in a junior league, so I guess it's easier to get them over here.
Once they grow into their body, they become not just familiar, but comfortable in their own size, and learn how to kind of assert themselves with that size, Meg. They're seeing the fruits of that in Buffalo right now, to their credit.
How many people gave up on Tage Thompson?
Oh yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
There was injuries. True, Boosh. A lot of people forgot about him in that Ryan O'Reilly trade, and it just took a little bit of time. You just got to hang in there with some players. And I know he's not a centerman, but this is a big guy that's got the skill just like that.
And if I'm the Arizona Coyotes, I'm going to Tage Thompson's dad. And trying to get Daniel Booth into the big man. Exactly. 100%. Get him in the big man camp. Develop him in the big man camp. Because that's exactly what happened with Tage Thompson.
Buffalo Sabres are proud to select from Winnipeg in the Western Hockey League, Zach Benson.
I just noticed there's no commercials on this.
Well, there were commercials.
There were? I don't even remember them.
Well, it was few.
What does he project to, Megan Jacob?
Well, shout out to Don Gallinini and Sam Ventura, their analytics group, clearly have the data on this young gentleman.
But there could be a chance you might jinx it near the end.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we watched it last year, we had a commercial after every pick.
Wow, that's terrible.
Yeah, so much so that we end up missing the final pick.
Oh, but you added on time.
Yes, I did add a time. So we shouldn't have any more problems.
Very competitive, offensive, gifted offensive player, and everybody I talked to in the WHL kept telling me, we say, I hope this guy does not fall, because he's such a skilled player, he's such a consistent player, and he's a player that you love to have on your team for all the right reasons.
Foot player, makes plays down low. Megan, you said it, not afraid to go to high traffic areas.
Because of something.
Guys can shy, from wanting to play in those areas. He does not. He likes to draw players to him, a foot passer. Some of those passes that he made down low on the goal line remind me of Patrick Kane. Now, I'm not saying no, I know exactly what I'm saying. When you watch some of the video, you're like, wow, the poise to hang on to it, draw a couple people in, and then boom, you slide it to your teammate. This, by all accounts, look, they're not big. Aside from Tuck and Tage Thompson, not a lot of their prospects are huge, right? For the Sabres.
Well, they're going skill, right? They're saying, let's get the best team we can, high-end talent, and he actually led the WHL in shorthand points this season.
With the 14th selection in the 2023 NHL Entry Draft, the Pittsburgh Penguins are proud to select from the Moose Jaw Warriors, Braden Yeager.
All right, what do you know about Braden?
Yeah, I know him pretty well.
This is a Yeager, another player in the last name is Yeager, right?
How would you describe his game?
No?
There's so much. I mean, he's so
Maybe I'm thinking of a different
so
sport.
fast, so powerful. He can
That name sounds familiar.
Or maybe you're thinking of Viagra.
So, I'm really happy for him to see him go. Pittsburgh's gonna be
They sound similar.
Right there?
Yeah, I have a lazy back check there too.
You got to play 200 games.
Or maybe you're thinking of Jägermeister.
Well, let's talk about you again. You're going to play your first NHL game, if everything goes well, in Pittsburgh against Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's really cool. National television in Canada and here in the U.S. When you look at all his Crosby's attributes, what's your favorite one? What's the most important one you think he has?
Man, there's so many. I think I gotta go with Talk IQ. The way he thinks the game, the way he can create plays, obviously, but also in his own end and on face-offs and everything. He can manipulate the game in so many ways. And obviously he's my idol growing up, and it's so fun watching him every year. He hasn't slowed down at all, so he's incredible.
Hidden talent, playing the piano.
Yeah, Saturday night I was on
What?
His Yeager's hidden talent is playing the
It
piano.
said that on the screen?
Yeah.
I have a question for you, because I've said this a couple times here at the desk. I feel like we've known about you for 6-7 years, and the amount of pressure that is on a young man to come through, with all the hype. What do you attribute your ability to do that to? Who helped you get through all that to get you to this moment?
I think it's been nice for me to have it kind of gradually grow. It wasn't an overnight thing, and for me, my parents are great. Agency's great with all that, my sister, but...
Here we go, Smashville. From the University of Connecticut,
Matthew Wood. So there he is. Yeah. Matthew Wood, I talked to his college coach, Mike Cavanaugh, on Monday.
He didn't say he wanted to honor himself.
Well, probably because he was honored enough.
He was 17 when the college season last year started. Landed UConn helped he's in scoring. Still just 18 years old, but he's 6'4". He's big. Yeah. He's got a good lower frame. And I asked, what's his best attribute, Coach Cavanaugh? He said his brain. He thinks the game and he's a smart player.
Well, because his skating is not a strength of his, I think you have to think the game in order to have success. But make no mistake, this guy's got high-end skill. And the numbers that he's put up, like you mentioned at UConn, impressive, almost a point per game. At the U18s, 13 points in 7 games. Wow. This is a really talented player. Again, I feel like skating, that's something that you can work on. Maybe the first step's not there. He's a big boy. Maybe it takes a little bit longer. But no mistake, make no mistake about it, this guy can fill the net.
And more U18 advanced stats. In scoring chances per game, he was 3rd, and he was also leading Canada, trailing Ryan Leonard and Gabe Perreault, who we might see go as well. So high-end talent that he's competing with, getting those high-quality shots that you want to see, because that's what translates in the NHL.
So here's the salary cap. You have to make some moves and get creative. The Predators did that. They were able to move on from Ryan Johansson, move him out to Colorado. And this is a similar type player to Ryan Johansson in terms of size. He's got the skill, 6'4", center, can pass, can shoot. So I think this is a really good, solid pick. Good press right here.
NHL comparable with Rob Fessler. So makes sense.
Exactly like that. I like that. I like that a lot. He's back to college for maybe even 3 years in college. This is a long-term project here, but a guy who's determined to be a really big pro.
Brain games and puzzles. This is his hidden talent.
And I love you saying that, because you saw those attributes from Mark Stone in Ottawa. Yeah. By the way,
Side Jerome McGinley.
We're going to take from the Vancouver Giants, Samuel Ahanzi.
He's the general manager, this guy Conroy?
Yep.
And Jerome McGinley is what?
I think a special advisor or something.
Ah.
But that's gonna make. But that definitely makes the Flames happy.
What? Both of them are former Flames?
Yeah, Flames legends. And now they're back to work with the Flames.
So they got a real good sample size in terms of getting their eyes on it.
Is Jerome McGinley up there on the stage?
Yep.
Upside pick at this point.
Yeah, at that size too is NHL comparable to Timo Meier, who we were talking about a lot today. He rose to the front of the net in the offensive zone and around high traffic areas consistently. High number of shot attempts, off rebounds. Jury is still out for some people on where he'll land, but essentials are there. Good big skater, good hand, strong. Solid pick for Calgary. They've seen him a lot in the WHL. It's a huge year for WHL.
Yes, it is.
He's draft prospect.
He's a big north-south type player. So if you want an honest player, this is who you're
Another really cold guy.
Look, I mean, he's got good skills, not great skills, but he's the type of guy that can play on a top line and complement, some high-end players. But he's also a guy if you're going to drop him down to maybe the bottom half of your bottom 9, he can go in there and be a banger too. And so I think he will determine what he becomes at the next level. Will he be that guy that's more of a third-line guy that is big and physical?
Give it to me, because it looks like it's going to get blown off.
Oh, there he is, Jerome McGinley.
Oh, behind him there?
Yep.
After the World Juniors, he got hurt in the World Juniors, Slovakia, and his second half is really strong, which is the positive stuff.
All right, a new era in Calgary begins. Jim Neal got the Jim Gregory Award for GM of the Year, so the clock was...
Oh, Jim Neal.
Draft clock was kind of...
Oh, I thought they said Jim Mills.
No, Jim Neal.
What team is Jim Neal?
The Stars. But wow, I'm surprised that Bill Zito of the Florida Panthers didn't win it.
Bill who?
Zito.
Trade the production of the Horvath deal, and now it's the Red Wings selection.
And Jim Neal is from...
Wait, oh, there we go.
Jim Neal is from what team?
The Stars.
Before making our selection, I'd like to thank all the Red Wing fans back in Detroit at Little Caesars Arena who are watching the draft live. We really appreciate your support. with the 17th pick, the Red Wings select from Sollefteå, Sweden, of the SHL, Axel Sandin-Pellikka.
There we go.
Almost too easy.
Axel Sandin-Pellikka.
Give us some of this guy's, some more attributes on him.
Well, at that U18 tournament in 2023, he was a top defenseman, and he also not only shot attempts, but possession time per game. He was second with 245. That
He's
puck
got a lot of
possession
people with him.
really got influencing the pace of play with decision making and puck control. Poised beyond his years. He holds on the puck and makes those plays. You can see why Detroit would like that style of player. A little bit of a no-brainer in terms of Yzerman always reaching for Europe. But he didn't have to reach for this one. He fell to him.
There were some people.
I remember one year or maybe more than 1 year, they had this guy, Bob something, and they would show his picks.
Bob McKenzie.
They don't have that anymore.
Well, not his picks, his projections.
Projections, yeah.
I'm guessing they're doing Megan this time.
The mold of what the Detroit Red Wings are trying to become, which is a skill-based team.
I mean, he did make projections.
But
they're not showing them.
Yeah.
A Swedish defenseman, Nick Lidstrom, in years past. They're not losing. This is their pedigree.
Yeah, exactly. This is their pedigree in Detroit. They've had so much success and familiarity with Swedish-born players in their modern history. And in saying all of that, you have Simon Edmondson back there already. You also have Mo Seider already. And now you get a guy that's kind of a comp to a Chris Letang-esque type player and a defenseman that can generate offense. And when the puck's on his tape, he's as skilled as most high-end skilled forwards. That is absolutely dynamite for the Wings fans back in Motown and for the pure Michiganders that are tuned in drinking a Burners right now during this draft. I like this selection.
This is a bit of a slow build for Detroit, but they're going to come out on waves when they're ready.
Yes.
You know, Yzerman's playing a long game here, and they're going to hit a lot of teams very hard with this high-end talent.
And there's my man Chris Draper to the left of the move. Had such a successful career with Detroit. He's an outstanding executive. He's in rinks all the time. And I'll say this about Steve Yzerman as well. He's not the warmest in terms of his personality per se, but he too is in rinks all the time. He's one of the hardest working execs, Steve Yzerman, and I got to give him a lot of credit for that.
You know what really, the respect that I have for Steve Yzerman and his staff is that they are so real in what their assessment of their group is. If you ask them, like they don't try and paint a picture that isn't there. They're honest. They know that they still are a ways away. They're not ready to strike. They want it, like, as you mentioned, that slow build. That's what they want to get to. I really respect that because a lot of teams at trade deadline.
Here come the Winnipeg Jets next.
They still haven't picked a goalie, right?
Not yet.
Steve Yzerman knows they're still a couple years away.
Winnipeg Jets would like to thank the city of Nashville for tremendous events. Love to congratulate David Boyle for a tremendous career. Thank you very much for all your mentorship. I also would like to say hello to all our fans back at Canada Light Center at our draft barbecue. Winnipeg Jets are proud to select from Owen Sound of the OHL, Colby Barlow.
Like him, Wixie. You like him, Boosh?
I do. Again, if you pay attention to the players that I like, I mean, there's a trend.
You're a ruffian.
I like the guys that play the game hard, and this is another one of those guys that plays the game hard. He reminds me, like when you look at him, he reminds me a little bit of Mason McTavish, like that kind of build. He's got a great drag and release. He's one-time integrated, plays hard, he's strong, he's a captain in Owen Sound. He's an old-school player. The one thing maybe is that when you look at him, you can see he's got a full beard.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's what he is, right? And maybe that's why he goes at number 18, but the intangibles are there for a player that I think you can wrap your team around and say, this is the guy that's going to lead us into the fight and be a good player for us.
And look, I wouldn't be here right now if I didn't play in Owen Sound in 2 years, my first 2 years as a junior. And
one thing about playing at Owens Sound is it's a small, tight building, and you've got to be able to willing to pay the price. You can't put up phantom numbers playing in that building. And this guy is a hard-edged player, a skilled player, a real prototypical power forward. He gets to all of the areas that not everybody loves going to generate his offense, and he's a leader. And you can see by his pick, he's a man. Oh, that's an NHL guy already, and he's only going to fill out and get even bigger physically. I love this selection by the Winnipeg Jets.
And he gets to those close areas, but he also has good hands in those tight areas, so he can finish. And you're right, Brian. Effective one-timer. I had that underlined twice. I heard that from everyone. But he also is smart. He actually was the OHL Scholastic Player of the Year award. So you're getting smart, sense, good human being as well off the ice, dedicated to being better, which should translate in the NHL when you're thinking about that long pathway that he'll have.
46 goals.
And he had a big year in on sound, man.
46 goals.
Wow,
I mean, he could have gotten
Scholastic
50
Player of the
and
Year.
in the league.
Yeah,
with those 46.
I mean,
So
you know,
he's
to me,
smart as well as
he's
a
an
good hockey
NHL type
player.
Yeah, his game it translates to the NHL game, and again, another one of those players that when you get to the postseason, I think his game becomes even more valuable.
The youngest captain in Owen Sound attack history. Yeah. First player selected from the OHL, the Ontario Hockey League this year. Been a great night for the WHL. But the first from the O and still none from the Q yet, right? We're still waiting for a first correct.
The 19th pick in the NHL Draft, the Chicago Blackhawks are very proud to select Oliver Moore from the U.S. National Development Program.
I love this dude. I mean, this dude is electric. Everyone can skate well. This guy stands out.
Yeah. This guy can fly.
Oh my
Oliver
goodness.
Moore.
Hands down the best skater in the draft.
Yep.
Is he related to Dominic or John
I don't know.
or Janet?
I don't know.
The question is, can he create other ways?
Is he related to?
I don't
Is
know.
he related to Janet?
I don't know.
Speed is a problem.
He's not.
Speed is a problem for defenders and for the
Connor Moore
opposition.
is an
This
old
guy has
friend
got
of
it
mine.
in spades. Him, you know, along with Connor Bedard, like you think about, you know, you got a dynamic player in Bedard that can do it all, and then you got a guy in Oliver Moore who's probably playing another line who's just going to back people off with his speed. The thing about Oliver Moore is that at the program, he did not play on the top line. He was the guy playing on the other line, and yet he still put up 75 points, had 9 points in the U18s. So this was not the guy that was playing with the best players at all times, and yet he still produced. But this is a guy with speed that you just don't see all the time.
They'll probably play with Logan Cooley in Minnesota this year. He's a gopher, and I'll tell you, gopher fan, this guy's going to bring you out of your seats at Mariucci.
Oh yeah, he definitely will bring them out there at the land of 10,000 lakes. And what he does is by attacking the opposition with that speed, he puts them under duress.
Yeah.
He's got a V12. It's not a V8 engine. It's a V12. You can hear that exhaust when he steps on it. In a blink of an eye, he can gain not only acceleration, but zones with his speed. It's that electrifying.
From our data set too, on the cycle, he can actually move the puck into that middle of the ice and set up teammates. High involvement player, so he probably can make an impact on the cycle, but off the rush is his bread and butter with that speed. Puck retrieval and anticipation, you know, shows that determination and tenacity, which is maybe why he got up to this point.
Yeah. Second and third efforts is the stuff that I saw.
Yes, that's a great point, right?
And you know, like when I think of Dylan Larkin when I see him. Yes, Dylan Larkin.
That's the NHL comparable I have from data.
So, you know, I like speed kills. I mean, it's tough to play against. I mean, you hope that he can catch up with the speed at the NHL level that they can all click.
And year 3 team would be lower than 20, but they were good last year.
Bracken is proud to select from Cometa Brno, Edouard Chalet.
There we go.
Yep.
It looks like Sale, like Chris Sale.
Right.
But it's Shala. And what do we know about him? Megan Chayka.
His NHL comparable is Kasperi Kapanen.
Okay.
Puck management, doesn't force plays and limits giveaways. He creates space and excels using skating and tight turns to separate from opponents. Averaged nearly a point per game. And Czechia at the 2022-2023 World Junior Championship, and he led the team in scoring as well. So they're getting some offense, great skater.
just seems like a Kraken, right?
What's that?
It just seems like a Kraken. They put it in, and they're a deep team, and they just keep rolling them out.
Well, look, I mean, I think they do need defense in their system. There's no doubt about that. But this is a case of best player available.
Yeah.
And he's got offensive ability. There's no question about that. Top two lines, if he can get there and play there, he's going to be an effective player. I think the one question mark on him is sometimes his compete and whether or not he could, if he doesn't play in the top six, would he be able to play, you know, third line in that role? So
Is he a top six or bust? That's what you're asking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's the best player available. Maybe the defense prospects that were there, they just didn't feel like there was a high enough ceiling. Take a shot on this guy. He's got good size, 6'2".
Yes.
And if he turns out, you got yourself a skilled player in your top six.
Yeah, and there's room to grow physically, not necessarily from a height standpoint, but more in terms of the stature of his body. Be a 175-pound guy. Could he fill out at a 200, 195? And when you look at the Seattle Kraken's team right now, what's interesting for them is they don't have game breakers that are going to break the game open per se. I really love Matty Beniers. I love what Matty Beniers is and will be.
That guy looks familiar.
The way they're built,
I missed it.
One of the Kraken management people. For some reason
Maybe you saw. Did you see Dave Hackstall?
No, it wasn't Hackstall.
Ron Francis.
I'd like to congratulate David Poyle on an amazing career. David, thank you for your friendship. Like Kyle said, being a mentor to so many young general managers out there, we appreciate everything you've done for us in the game. Also, a great thank you to the city of Nashville, especially Tootsies, for keeping this entire group well hydrated and entertained.
Who's Tootsie?
Some person.
Minnesota Wild proudly select from the University of Wisconsin, Charlie Strammel.
All right.
Charlie Strammel.
All right, we got back-to-back nights at Tootsie, so we know what Billy's talking about. But
why, you know him?
He's also another guy that won the bronze with the USA in the World Junior Hockey Championship.
Inside the top
10 he wasn't projected to win in the first round.
The points weren't there at Wisconsin.
Oh yeah?
And it was a tough freshman year for him. I got to see him firsthand at the World Juniors for the U.S. and he played a fourth line role, penalty kill, and he played that role perfectly. He's got some real jam in him, and that size and that physical play, and he likes to get in on the forecheck. So for Billy Garrett, I think he can relate to this player. You know, understanding that, look, surround him with some players, give him some confidence. I'm not saying that this guy's going to score you 50 goals, but there's something there to his game that I think is translatable to the National Hockey League because he's willing to play hard and he's a big body.
Yeah, Strammel was a tough guy.
Look, I mean, his NHL role model, Matthew Tkachuk. Play a little bit like that. That to me is what Billy Garrett.
Oh, he's from Minnesota.
And born in St. Paul, Minnesota. Right, perfect, exactly. And listen, if he can play 75% of Matthew or Brady Tkachuk, that'd be huge for the Minnesota Wild. Because as we talked about, I love where their team is, but for them to take the next step, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, to me, it's just about having the type of players that can get to those hard areas in front of both nets and make those plays. There's a great shot of his mother, presumably. Can you imagine what goes through the mom's heart? Oh, man. See your boy up there. Amazing stuff. So that's kind of what I see here. Thank you.
Absolutely, that grit and jam you were talking about beforehand. You predicted this pick here. NHL comparable, Anders Lee. Strammel actually said he's a lot like Alex Tuck in his mind.
Edwin Diaz.
Tight areas and under pressure and play that aggressive physical game.
Connaughton, Hayden Hodgson, and I think 50% of Provorov's contract.
And different types of players too, so you're making that.
But it was a three-team trade.
With the 22nd selection, Flyers are proud to select from the London Knights of the OHL, Oliver Bunk.
Oliver Bunk.
Dad Radek played 969 games. He's drafted on the 29th anniversary of his dad, Radek, taken third
Oh, his dad is Radek Bunk?
in 1994.
I've heard that name.
A London night.
And I like guys that have, you know, family pedigree in the National Hockey League. I think it's a real bonus for some of these kids. You know, you get that feedback from your father.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it helps them a lot.
You know, you're getting it real from them. And this is a guy that London took their time with him.
In or whatever.
They sent him back to Junior B because they wanted him to play more the year prior. And then he came to London this year, and he just got better and better and better as the year went on. He kills plays. You know, I think there's more offense in there than maybe what you see. But I think defending-wise, he closes on guys very well. The question that I have is, will that offense get there? Megan, maybe you know more about that.
And the London Knights are...
You don't have to get up there.
No.
In some cases, their player development is, you know, comparable to some NHL teams. So make no mistake, Baum went there for development. Yeah. He was actually second in even strength possession time per game, over a minute on his stick. And he led the London Knights in the playoffs in pass completion rate at just under 82%. So he's making those passes. Scouts are seeing those little aspects of his game that they're working through with him, and they're able to play that long game. When they're sending him back, the Hunters are zeroed in on making incredible NHL plays.
And it's not sexy, but it's effective. And Dale Hunter is a good friend of Keith Jones, so there's a real comfortability there between those two. They played together in Washington. Right. I'm sure they had a lot of conversations about, you know, this player.
Yeah, and I was just speaking to his representatives, and they said that there have been a lot of conversations with the London Knights regarding Bob. This is a great selection. I love the fact that you mentioned he went back to Tier 2 Junior B in St. Thomas, lit it up before he got back up to the London Knights across the net.
Oh boy, here we go. New York Rangers on the clock.
Always trying to get better.
What's your plan going?
On the bottom left.
Yeah, no, I want to know where our table.
Well, they're gonna show our table.
Okay.
Please give us Gabriel Perreault. If not him, at least give us either Gavin Brindley, or you go off the board and give us Trey Augenstein.
You checked out all these players? And
Well, I've saw them play. There's the Rangers table.
I played with Tom Fitzgerald.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to tell you this right now. If I am the New Jersey guy,
Yep, Peter Laviolette is there.
Oh yeah, there he is on the left side. I see him.
you have the opportunity to maybe strike for Elliott.
Okay.
You have to look at it.
I hope we can get Gabriel Perreault, because he's been waiting for a long time.
Of course, new head coach Peter Laviolette.
Why, he was supposed to be in the top 10?
Yeah.
2021. You see their cap space.
The pick is in.
Whispers about Lafreniere. Still have an RFA signed in Keandre Miller. It's maybe a little tricky sign there.
Restricted free agents.
Huge year.
Does that mean that they're still trying to sign them, right?
I mean it's just a type of different type of free agents.
Right.
But the free agency is gonna be tough.
The Devils kind of trend up quickly. All of a sudden they close the gap. They bring in Peter Laviolette.
How do you say
Laviolette.
Laviolette.
Okay, why are we just are we gonna move? Okay, we're moving. Oh boy.
Well, hey, this is I like your point for the New York Rangers. I thought it was a bit of a disappointing postseason, being at a lot of their games in New
Please
York on
give
nights.
us Gabriel Perreault.
I feel they took a step back this year from what they were the season prior, but there's so many good pieces there.
Who's the
I'm
GM
curious
for
to
the
see what they're going to reach for here. Maybe a
Chris Drury.
Chris Drury, right. I
like his game.
And Sather is still the president.
Yeah.
Are they there? I didn't see them.
Yeah.
You saw them in the group?
I'm certain they're in the group.
Okay, well I was looking at the people at the table and I didn't see them.
I mean, well, you didn't look at everybody.
Right.
Gavin Brindley's a little guy, but man, I love
Oh, they're talking about Gavin Brindley too.
Oh, there's Chris Drury.
Yep.
Dan Tilly will play with him again. Dan Tilly goes back. I don't think
Where's
he will.
Glenn
But Gavin
Sather?
Brindley's
Is he
got a
there?
goal here soon.
So far, doesn't look like it.
No, I don't
So the
think he
Rangers
is.
pick is in. 23rd overall for them. Did not have a first round pick last year. So here comes the Rangers pick.
The New York Rangers are proud to select from the U.S. under-18 team Gabriel Perreault.
Let's go!
skill of this guy.
Yes!
Oh, this guy. I kept seeing this guy with the brown
Gabriel
suit.
Perreault is a Ranger.
His NHL comparables with Jake Gunsel, dynamic offense, dangerous in the ozone with both passing and shooting, and he gets to the slot
He's a
too.
right
So when
wing.
you're
He
looking at adding
doesn't
some
look too
players
tall,
that can,
but
have that dynamic offense.
But I'll take him. Especially since he was projected to be in the top 10. It's like none of us were like the fact that this happened was unlikely, but it happened.
He slows the game down, but
Oh, and I think he was part of the under 18 team that won gold.
the smartest player in the draft. Wow. And you think about NTDP single season point record. He shattered it by 15 points. Who did he beat? Austin Matthews. So
thanks for coming.
He was part of that. He's part of that dynamic line there in the program with Will Smith and Ryan Leonard.
Correct.
He makes guys
5'11" from Quebec.
While not moving. Yes. It's so interesting to watch because it looks
like he is creating meal.
Yep.
But again, another player that comes from a father that played.
Wow, for 46 goals, 64 assists in 55 games.
But like I said, the IQ is on
who's
the
that
charts
guy Lily?
maybe the pace is
Some girl.
No, Lily is the last name.
Oh God! Oh, some guy that works in
guy,
I know, some guy.
Our rookie year in Owen Sound. Andrew Burnett had 162 points to lead the CHL. He was the
Oh wow! I realized Perreault has over 100 points.
one of his deficiencies. Went on to play over 1,000
In what?
games in the National
In the under 18.
Or something like that. 5 goals, 13 assists in 7 games in the U18 World Championship, and he won the gold medal. Oh, this is good. It's gonna be exciting to see him play. Like whether or not he plays with us this season is yet to be determined. It mostly depends on the on the free agents. And also Brennan Hoffman is gonna come soon, so that will also be a factor as well. There he is.
You set the U.S. program record for points, breaking Austin Matthews. Also the single.
Oh, he broke Austin Matthews' record.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think those are the guys you kind of look up to. So having my name with those guys is definitely pretty special.
I want to ask you about your fit tonight. There's a monochromatic look, but it looked like you had some interesting lining in the suit jacket. Take me through it.
Yeah, so I did my suit with Glorious Customs. They had a couple pictures in there with family, friends. I had my team in there, so yeah, that's kind of what was in it.
Are you guys into style? You put your personality out there?
Yeah, a little bit. I like the nice jackets and stuff like that, so I always like to have a good style.
You'll find none of those in New York. I have a hard time shopping. Thanks, Gabe.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Number 23 in 23.
All 3 would be in the first round. He waited a little bit longer than Gabe Pro than thought he might, but again, these 3
Yeah, he waited a long time, but he's chosen, and he's chosen by the Rangers. 132 points, 53 goals and 79 assists. This guy is a big deal.
But also coaches. And the coach of his U18 team there.
Now the Predators are going to choose again.
The New York Rangers.
Now, to make our second pick in the first round, our captain, Roman Josi, and legendary goaltender, Pekka Rinne. Out to you guys.
Oh, what's this? There's a band back there.
With 24th pick of 2023 draft, Nashville is proud to select Tanner Molendyke from Saskatoon. Round of applause for Tanner.
Wow, he had a difficult time pronouncing his last name.
St. Louis Blues are pleased to select Otto Stenberg for Lambda Suite.
The Swede heads to St. Louis. Four-time medalist for Sweden on the international stage.
Good, solid, steady pick here.
5'11", 185.
Yep, absolutely. And from a really good program in Solunda as well.
For Lunda, that's
Lundqvist.
Outstanding program over there. Freddie
Organization.
Schuster, now the general manager. Joel Lundqvist, Henrik's brother, recently retired. I think this is a very
Oh, and you just
steady
mentioned
player,
Joel
a
Lundqvist.
safe
Yep.
pick.
Let's not forget about him.
He just retired, they said.
Yep, I think we knew about that earlier, I think.
And he did lead Sweden in shot attempts off the record per game at 4 in the U18s. Puck possession too, and poised with the puck, he just hold on to it and wants to make the right play.
Yes.
Controlled goal entries are also high, which you like to see. Attacks the offense zone with speed and finds and creates the space to use his shot. So he will shoot as well, carry it in, play driver for Sweden, high skill. Good solid pick at this level of the draft.
That's a good release right there.
And really good numbers at the U18s, right? I mean, 16 points, 7 games. The pro numbers, obviously, they look disappointing, but when you're a draft-eligible player playing pro, not easy to do. But when he played it with his peers at the junior level, right. I mean, play with his peers, you can see the points are there, and that to me is probably what's most important.
Yeah, I'm impressed by how well he's played on the international stage. I'll look at the emotion. Presumably that's his little brother. But I love his game on the international stage because here's one thing we don't factor in. On the international stage, when you're playing against Team USA and or you're playing against Team Canada,
who will be San Jose?
I will be shocked if they do that.
Play Musty for me?
Oh.
The 26th pick, the Sharks are proud to select from the Sudbury Wolves, Quentin Musty.
There he is.
Oh, Musty. I saw that name up.
I like this pick.
It was up there for a long time.
Well, it's part of the selections.
Right, but I think it was one of the earlier selections, wasn't it?
Uncle of Caden. And he knows his draft
No.
very well. He had a lot of great things to say about Quentin Musty.
I mean, he definitely was not projected to be the top 10.
They like his game. They like the fact that he too plays with a bit of an edge. I think it's a good selection.
He can play so many different ways,
right?
And he can create so many different ways. He's a complete offensive player.
Yes.
He's strong. He likes contact.
Steal there.
He'll play in the cycle. A playoff type player. I think this is a good pick. His first year, he wanted to shoot a lot. The second year, he looked to be more of a playmaker, and they leaned on him quite a bit in the second half of the season. A guy that was the first overall pick in the OHL, and there were high expectations. And I thought he had a good
First
year.
overall pick in the OHL.
What's interesting?
Oh, really?
Is that he had a chance to be on that NTDP team with some of those guys that we talked about.
Right.
And he actually chose to not go there.
Yeah.
He wanted to play.
Sudbury's a good program.
And he wanted to play in the OHL. I mean, that takes some guts. So kudos to this kid, and he ends up being the 26th pick. Good stuff.
Yeah, 5th American-born player taken in this draft, and like you said, the first American to play junior hockey last season, just from
Hamburg,
south of Buffalo,
New York.
and Hamburg, New York. So
Wherever that is.
Talk about growing the game.
A place full of hamburgers.
Yeah, that's really a really good sign.
I never heard of it, but it's probably some small town upstate somewhere.
Full of burgers.
Colorado Avalanche are proud to select from Oshawa, Callum Ritchie.
There you go, that's your boy. I'm telling you. Go ahead, Boosh. Get in there, Boosh. Get out.
Well, he had a shoulder injury that I think slowed him down.
Exactly.
And his point totals weren't there, but he also, that Oshawa team was not a strong team. He's a very good skater. He's creative. He's smart. He's big. I don't think he got as physically engaged as probably as I would have liked, but it's, once you know why, and it's probably because of the shoulder injury, that tells you the answer. But I think this guy, there was high expectations on him coming into the season. And yeah, maybe the point totals weren't there, but I think this guy's going to be a good player. I think this is a good pick. And the fact that he played through it, you know, not 100% and performed at the U18s. To me, I think this is going to be a solid NHL player with his size.
I'm going to read a text aloud. I won't say which former NHL player. Known him since he's a kid. Honestly believe he's a top 10 pick. If he goes after that, the team that grabs him is going to get a steal, in my opinion. To Bush's point, played with a dislocated shoulder all year and still a point-per-game player in Oshawa.
And he did
Wow,
lead
he
in the
played with a
2022 Olympic
dislocated
Rugby
shoulder?
Cup in
Wow.
points. So there's an element where you're seeing maybe he has a rebound.
I mean, they're hockey players.
I know, but if it's
Hockey players are built different.
If it's a dislocated shoulder, it needs to be put back in place.
Should be a splash. We can come back and to that.
Yeah, but it didn't stop him from continuing to play. I mean, think back of the Ottawa Senators' deep run in 2017. The leading scorer, Erik Karlsson, played with a broken foot.
Well, broken foot, you can, I guess,
But I think
bandage and tape it
but
up.
I think it was.
A shoulder, you need to.
But I think it's like an ACL or something like that. But it was a serious.
Toronto selects from the London Knights, Easton Cowan.
All right, another Knight.
Get it, Bush. This kid climbed in the second half of the year in the playoffs.
I thought they said Easton.
And I got a couple of rumblings from people that they felt like this guy could slide into the first round. I mean, the ratings were really not there, but he had such a good second half of the year in playoffs. Played in the line with Denver Barkey and Ryan Winterton. He's small, smart, quick, plays PP, PK. But make no mistake, this guy has a motor. He's darty, and he's a hard worker. So kudos to this kid because, you know, maybe he wasn't on people's radar early on, but a strong second half in playoffs, and he finds himself as a first-round pick for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Great points there, Bush. Some of the people I've spoken to say that he has some shades of Mitch Marner. And Mitch Marner played in London. Now, he doesn't have the same offensive output as Mitch Marner, but the versatility, playing in all situations, the fact that as the year went along, he got better and better and showed that improvement. And oh, by the way, the Leafs president of hockey operations, Brendan Shanahan, played for the London Knights as well. So there's a lot of familiarity. It's 2 hours west of Toronto on the highway. And this guy's a player. What impressed me is as the season went on, he got better and better. That's what really impressed me with him.
In Ontario, we watch the London Knights on national TV, so we get a lot of viewings of them. And he does play in those all situations. Elite penalty killer. He's willingness to take the puck to the net. My NHL comparable from data is TJ Oshie.
Okay.
So quite a skilled player. Like you said, well-rounded, puck recoveries, quick reactions, allowing to get pucks back to. So if you're a scout watching an arena, that's something that jumps out at you.
Yeah, to me, what stood out is that London, they kind of were laying in the weeds at the start of the year, and they kind of caught fire in the second half, and they ended up having a terrific playoff, and this guy was a huge reason as to why they were able to go deep in the OHL playoffs. He really worked his way into the first round. Got a lot of respect for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No OHL picks in the first 17, but now 5 of the last 11 from the Ontario Hockey League, part of the Canadian junior system up in Canada. Another emotional long season.
And the second from the London Knights.
That's right.
So.
St. Louis Blues are pleased to select Theo Lidstein, Brynäs, Sweden.
Another Swede, a defenseman.
Theo.
Played in the top professional league last year. Didn't do much. Only 1 goal, 1 assist. So this is obviously a late blooming young kid, long-term development project.
And that's exactly why, Bush, you had mentioned a little bit earlier in the show, how you feel like they need to add more defensemen to their pool. And in this one, you add somebody that you don't necessarily have to rush into your lineup right now, but somebody that you feel that there's some really good opportunity for growth in this game. And I'll come back to this point for our panel, Meg, I'll pass it to you. When the St. Louis Blues won, a lot of teams are trying to replicate their defense that they had. And by the way, the Vegas Golden Knights, like Brady Petrangelo there, and the makeup of the defense that they had, that's a big part of why the Vegas Golden Knights won their cup.
Who do you think the NHL comparable is for him then? Based on your answer right there.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I got it with the data. It's Petrangelo.
You said Petro?
Yeah.
I was gonna say I was gonna go with. I was gonna go with Martinez from Vegas.
Okay.
I was gonna go with Martinez to see what Don Waddell goes with here.
There's Don Waddell, first time picking in the first round since they took Seth Jarvis. That was a good pick, 13th overall in 2020. Don Waddell makes his way to the microphone.
I'd like to congratulate the Vegas Golden Knights on winning the Stanley Cup. Thank you, the city of Nashville, for all your hospitality. And then to my good friend, David Boyle, you've been a tremendous friend, mentor for all of us here in the league. Enjoy the next chapter of your life. To make our pick, Darren York, our assistant general manager. Carolina is proud to select Bradley Nadeau.
Bradley Nadeau.
Like when I told you, end of the first round, kids want to be picked tonight, don't they?
Of course they do.
A lot of queasy stomachs hoping they're one of these lines.
BC
I told you about
Hockey
the
League,
BCJ
what's
earlier.
BC?
You did, right?
Oh, British Columbia.
Maybe.
Yes.
USHL, we know they're the two top producing leagues, certainly for college hockey, but a lot of high octane, as Bruce said earlier, a lot of high octane players come out of the BCJ, and now the Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh man, they're playing Hotel California in the background. They should have played that when a California team made a pick.
I know he's been here for 30 plus years, but he's a BC native, and what they're getting here is an offensive
Why
player
are they playing Hotel
that's got a ton of
California
skill,
for this guy?
a ton of hockey sense. That
I don't know. But they should have played that when a California team chose the
I
pick.
don't know why they did that.
I mean, they had their opportunity. It was right there, and they didn't take it. Like they played Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with, when they chose Will Smith.
Carolina, heavy on analytics with Eric Tulsky leading them, another AGM, so you know you're looking at that data and finding those gems in the BCHL tonight.
This guy is a top junior A player in North America.
Correct.
Like, not major juniors, so for people to understand.
And not playing at the program.
Not right. Exactly. So, he didn't play the U18s because he wanted to stay with his team in Penn.
Wow, another guy with over 100 points. 113.
113 points. I mean,
He led the BCHL.
In scoring of 113 points in just 53 games.
Game breakers. This guy can potentially turn into a game breaker with his shot.
And University of Maine has seen their fair share of them, the Black Bears, over the years. And by the way, the one that wore number 9, the great Paul Correa, who also happens to be from BC, who also played out there at BCJ. But in this case,
Tied first in BCHL with 45 goals.
Between their ability to pass and generate, but also finish and score. Those players are so difficult to defend against.
Absolutely. You can attack him either way, right?
Yeah.
If you try to play the shot, he's going to beat you on a playmaking.
Next is Colorado Avalanche.
They give him time and space.
Looks like they got that pick from the Panthers.
The hometown idea or to get more playing time, pan out for him being a first-round overall pick.
That's great.
What did they give to the Panthers for that?
That's a good question.
I told Rock Whitmore I think they need more offense in their group. They're an outstanding team. They're well coached. This is a really good pick by Don Waddell in their group.
And he'll go play for Ben Barr at the University of Maine.
With the 31st pick, the Colorado Avalanche are very proud to select from OMS Mikhail Gulyayev.
Yes, there you go. Well, see, you don't have the size,
Look
but
who
he
says
has
he played hockey,
incredible
just
skill
that she's
set.
the journalist.
An analyst.
Skill set.
Yeah.
Do they need another demon?
Hey, listen, I love your question. There's his agent Dan Milstein. I'll tell you this.
4 years from now, you might, right?
Hey, everybody.
Trade him for a lot if you don't.
Everybody I've talked to raved about this kid.
No,
They
he's
said
not
if he
wearing
was
a
6'1",
tie.
6'1",
That's okay.
he'd be a top 5 pick. Based on his skill set on the
Still
back
nice
end.
and dressed up.
Very talented defenseman.
And the NHL comparable is Adam Fox. If that doesn't jump off the page at you, maybe it's not getting as many viewings too because he's in Russia, but he really does push that puck in transition.
Sounded like they just said Adam Fox.
Yeah, they compare him to Adam Fox.
Oh, compare him to this guy?
Yeah.
Do they have enough defensemen? Probably. But are you going to take someone that maybe has a high ceiling to participate in the NHL, right?
I agree with you. I mean,
Build to the blue line.
Absolutely. You build to the brim, and then you decide which guy is an asset that you can move to help you out down the road. He's a one-man breakout. This guy is highly skilled, very good poise on the blue line. You can see the
2
highlights
goals
there,
and
what he's
20,
able to do.
23 assists
To me,
and
this is,
22
a good
games.
pick, because I just don't know that there's a forward.
Okay, so it's definitely similar to Adam Fox. He's a point a game type of defenseman.
The Vegas Golden Knights would like to congratulate David Boyle on a tremendous career as a general manager in the National Hockey League, and echo the comments of many of my previous colleagues, thanking him for his mentorship and leadership in the game. So all the best to you in the future, David. The Vegas Golden Knights are pleased with the 32nd selection in the first round of the entry draft to select from Columbus, Sweden, David Edstrom.
David Edstrom.
Good night for the Swedes.
Ah, so Gavin Brindley has to wait till the second round. Poor guy.
How come he didn't say that he wants to congratulate the Vegas Knights on the Stanley Cup?
Because they are Vegas. That would be an ego boost.
An ego what?
An ego boost. It's like you're rubbing salt in the wounds. They're like, we get it. You won the cup. Don't remind us.
We'd like to
kind of reminds me of Joel Eriksson. Okay.
we'd like to congratulate ourselves on winning the cup.
We get it. You won the cup. Stop reminding us.
He gets to the front of the net, like you're saying.
And we'd also like to thank Vegas for their hospitality during this draft.
But this is in Nashville.
But it's poison patience.
Right.
But
I was thinking it was in Vegas.
But it likely will in the next year's draft.
And wins puck battle. We have high puck battle wins on our data sheet, so a pretty good pick for a centerman.
Who is the guy behind him with the glasses?
Bill Foley.
Bill Foley. What is he, a general manager?
Or president or something like that.
Because he looks familiar. Where have I seen him?
Vegas.
I might dare say, in breaking this today, that they moved Riley Smith, right? That they traded Riley Smith today for that third-round pick.
Okay, Riley Smith for a third-round pick.
They re-signed Barbashev, and you also re-signed Aiden Hill. They're cooking in Vegas, boys.
First round is over. Gary Bettman will put a bow on this evening.
NHL Draft. The draft will resume tomorrow with the second round at 10 a.m. Central Local Time, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and you'll be able to watch it on the NHL Network, ESPN Plus, Rogers Sportsnet, or TVA. Thank you. Have a good night and travel
What
safe.
Sportsnet? Ratchet Sportsnet?
Wow, Rogers Sportsnet is in Canada.
Oh, and what was the last one you said?
TVA Sports, some French channel.